are imaginary lines about which a body, the earth, rotates, dividing something, resource, passing through the center of a global symmetrical pattern of a new political alignment. So Maduro is spilling the beans on Smartmatic. Maduro is spilling the beans on Obama and the Clintons and the Bushes, including John McCain, God rest his soul, and those who had rigged the 2020 election. This is the reason why Maduro was extracted. You see, we are playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. Rand Paul is going down. Chuck Schumer, Mitch McConnell, they're all going down because they've been getting paid by the Maduro regime through drug money. Rand Paul is a hypocrite. Every year, Rand Paul sends out these statistics of government waste, but yet Rand Paul, Marjorie Taylor Greene, making millions off of drug money coming out of Venezuela. This is chess, not checkers. In the text, is your minds blown? Oh, Rand Paul is a traitor. That's why he's running his mouth. And we have to stop the president from going. Listen, number one, what I don't like as you go to Joshua, I've been telling some of these sports podcasters, Apostle Sam, to stick to sports. Because the geopolitical realm is not their domain. Just like Stephen A. Snitch is talking about politics. Stay in your lane. You are right, Apostle Ellis Ewing. All drug dealers, just say no. You see, it all goes all the way back to the Reagan administration. Joshua chapter 1, verse number 1. Now the text. Now after the death of Joshua, the servant of the Lord, it came to pass that the Lord spake unto Joshua the son of Nun, Moses' minister, saying, Moses, the lawgiver, my servant, is dead. Now therefore arise, go over this Jordan, thou and all this people, unto, it didn't say into the land which I do give to them, even to the children of Israel. How many of you have heard of a German mathematician by the name of Dr. Johannes Kepler? I've mentioned him so many times in the past. Dr. Johannes Kepler, a 17th century German mathematician and philosopher, a mathematician theorem, one who is a pattern observer. He wrote and published a book, a document in 1611 called the Kepler Conjecture, which is a historical global pattern document that demands a response to the next pattern. I want you to get that. A historical global pattern that demands a response, not a reaction, but a response to the next pattern. President Trump is not a reactionary president. President Trump is a calculator, a calculating president, using Maduro as a pawn that would force Russia, China, Ukraine, Iran, Taiwan, NATO, the EU, to get back in line. The Kepler conjecture, because of a powerful event, Venezuela, of one entity, it then creates what we call abstraction, an abstract painting. If you ever look at a painting, wait a minute, I don't understand this. What was the name of that painter? I think in the 70s, early 80s. This white guy had an afro, and when I was a kid, I used to watch him all the time. And when he would paint, I'm thinking, what is he doing? I don't understand this. I used to ask my mother, wait a minute, he done messed up the canvas. And Bob Ross, thank you so much, Pastor Christopher and Pastor Corrine. Wait a minute, Bob Ross, what is he doing? Messing up the mountains. And you see, this is what half of America, the left, in the world is looking at Trump. Trump is destroying the New World Order. Trump is destroying NATO, and rightfully so. Trump is destroying the EU, the European Union, and rightfully so. Trump is establishing an alliance with Russia and China in order to destroy the organization called BRICS, who is attempting to destroy the American dollar. So what Trump did last weekend was a Bob Ross move, which from the surface, people don't understand this. Maduro is being offered some deals from President Trump. Give up those who were behind the 2020 election rig. Tell me about those powers behind Smartmatic. I want to know, see, this is more than just oil and gold and copper. This is more than just protecting the Western Hemisphere from Russian and Chinese and Iranian influence. Trump is playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers, thinking that they're playing chess. Venezuela, the CIA, in the parallax view. How many of you have seen or heard of the term the Fibonacci sequence? The Fibonacci sequence. On January 2nd, 2026, the CIA, through the greatest Delta force in history, through Operation Absolute Resolve. What are we going to absolutely resolve? Our intent is not to kill Maduro. He's just a chess piece to find out what happened in 2020. Now, people say, why won't Trump leave it alone? No, we can't leave it alone, because if we leave 2020 alone, it will repeat again, which will infect a relationship with Russia and China and Ukraine and Europe. Operation Absolute Resolve, the capturing of Nicholas, the doctrine of discovery, Maduro. Venezuela's regime is they themselves the doctrine of discovery. Through the Maduro global narco drug trafficking trade, Cuba, Central and South America, Europe and Asia, including Great Britain, has been making billions for the past 30 years out of Venezuela, from Chavez to Maduro. 150 aircraft from the greatest military in history went into the airspace of Venezuela. Operation Absolute Result. Well, who designed the Fibonacci sequence? Leonardo Bonazzi, Bonacci, who goes by Fibonacci. Leonardo Fibonacci was an Italian mathematician of the Republic of Pisa out of Italy, who said that the Fibonacci sequence represents each element: Venezuela, Colombia, Brazil, Uruguay, Cuba, Mexico, Nicaragua, the Honduras, Greenland, Russia, and China, and Ukraine, NATO, EU, and China. Each element is the sum of the two elements that precede it. A numerical sequence, a pattern of absolute execution to execute Operation Absolute Resolve. President Trump is creating a new axis pattern. The old order of Reagan and Bush, Russia is the axis of evil. China is the axis of evil, while Britain is our friend. Trump has destroyed that. Why is Russia deemed to be our enemy? Because Great Britain said so. Why is China deemed to be our enemy? Because of the British Empire. So Joshua chapter 1 verse 3, every place that the sole of your foot shall tread upon. Now the term tread means to be established. Every place that the sole of your foot shall be established upon, that have I given unto you, as I said unto Moses. Am I right about that, Apostle Michelle? From the wilderness in this Lebanon, even unto the great river, the river Euphrates, and all the land of the Hittites, and unto the great sea, going down to the going down of the greater light shall be your coast. Now, God speaks to us in the key text, the key verse of 1 Chronicles 4:10. Jabez, the United States called on the God of Israel, saying, "Oh, that thou wouldest bless me indeed, and enlarge my coast, that thy hand might be with me, not to destroy the people of Venezuela, and not to deceive the American people through fake videos, thinking that these people are rejoicing because of Maduro." It's a chess piece. Let me get a drink of tea. I got to say this. Venezuela, the CIA, and the parallax view. Is your minds blown tonight? Stay there in Joshua chapter 1, verses 1 to 4, and please stay there in the key verse, please, of 1 Chronicles chapter 4, verse 10. There's a pattern, a spiritual and a financial pattern in history. Every 80 years, I want you to write this down. Every 80 years, there is a global reset. Every 80 years, there is a global spiritual and financial reset.